Hi, this is the first lesson for April, and I'm going to apologize. I somehow lost the lesson I'd already recorded. So if you're one of the very few, and I think there were 2 or 3 that missed week 1, you missed the current event on the total eclipse of the sun, and I had timed it perfectly so that you would have this information before Monday, April 8th. Nevertheless, we will go into what we're talking about today. So let me move this down for just a minute. I'm gonna find my video. Hold on one second. April lesson 1. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to now found my video, share the screen.
Platform to perform on.
And I'm going to apologize because this is a very annoying
portfolio
person
solution means you can tell your
on the video. Sometimes though, you remember things when they're extremely annoying. So let's start with this.
Oh my goodness. Solar eclipse facts for kids video. Strap in. Hope you got a seatbelt because you're going to learn some wild, some fun, some crazy facts about one of the most fascinating cosmic events that can happen, a solar eclipse.
And it was.
It's so cool when
Very
the
cool.
Earth, moon, and sun align and something special happens, a solar eclipse. You're in the right place. If you're excited, then that's cool because I'm
It's gonna
excited
get worse, sorry.
about solar eclipses,
I
what
like
they
his
are, and
enthusiasm.
why they are so cool. Let's begin by talking about the sun. You know, when we're talking about a solar eclipse, we're talking about the sun. The word solar means related to or about the sun. Now, our sun is special, but it's certainly not lone. In fact, our sun is just one of 200 billion stars in our galaxy. Do you remember the name of our galaxy? Yeah, the Milky Way galaxy. Gets me hungry. You may know this already, but the sun is in the center of our solar system, and the Earth, along with the other planets, orbit around the sun. That means they go around and around and around the sun. Isn't that cool? They just go around and around. It's really awesome. The sun is in the center, and the planets just, oh, they go around. That's called orbiting. And you see these lines, these circle lines that's showing the pathway of these planets going around the sun. I wonder if the sun ever gets annoyed with that. It's just like, hey, leave me alone. You planets have been circling around me over and over and over again, and I'm sick of it. Get out of the way. I'm
Told
sick
you
of
it was gonna get
it.
annoying.
Me at the
But
center
he is enthusiastic
of the
about something.
solar system, but please leave me alone. Well, the Earth has something orbiting around it, just like the planets orbit around the sun. The moon orbits around the Earth, and the moon has been going around and around the Earth, just like the planets go around and around the sun. All right, so what is a solar eclipse? A solar eclipse is when the Earth, moon, and sun align. And the light rays from the sun are blocked because the moon is in the way, and the shadow of the moon hits the Earth, making it look dark and obscuring. That means blocking, darkening the sun. How cool is that? They're aligned. It's really awesome, and it's super rare because it just doesn't happen that often. Now, there are 2 types of solar eclipses. There's a partial eclipse. That's when part of the sun is blocked by the moon. And then there's a total eclipse.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I told you it was a little bit of an annoying video. Okay, so those of you who are doing this lesson after you saw the total eclipse, or those of you who did the lesson and never saw it for religious reasons, I understand that too. I had to look that up. why parents wouldn't let their kids watch that. Very interesting. So we're going to do a current event. What is a current event? This is our second one. The first one was the blue sea dragon. So any mistakes that you made on that one, and a couple things I've modified, so this is even easier, but I will tell you across the board, these have been better. So we're gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna go ahead and read the article. March 7th, 2024, total solar eclipse 2024, everything you need to know. So what's great about this is, you know, I intended, and I did for the most part, offer this lesson before the Monday of the total solar eclipse so that, you know, you were prepared and you kind of knew what to expect. So the first major eclipse of the sun since 2017 will be visible, or was visible, from Mexico, 15 United States, and southeastern Canada. On Monday, April 8th, 2024, a total solar eclipse, I'm going to read it in past tense, came to North America exactly 6 years, 7 months, and 18 days after the same type of solar eclipse crossed the US from Oregon through South Carolina on August 21st, 2017. But this past Monday was a much longer event, visible from within a narrow path of totality through Mexico, US, and Canada, according to NASA. You could watch the total eclipse on TV. Why would you? Because in Dallas, we were right in the narrow path, right on the center line, and got a perfect view. And I was really worried about the clouds. Didn't happen. So it comes less than 6 months after the October 14th, 2023 Ring of Fire annual solar eclipse in 8 states in the US Southwest, as well as Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, and Brazil. During a total solar eclipse, the moon appears almost exactly the same size as the sun, and it moves in front of it. It blocks the entire disk for a few minutes. The result is a beautiful totality during which the sun's corona is visible to the naked eye. Okay, so what you will notice is, and if I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and go to my, no,
Where the entire sun is blocked. The total.
let me go to my document here. So what you will, no. Sorry, share screen. I think I unshared. Okay, so you'll see in the document, this is yellow highlighted. So I'm right here in the document. What is a total solar eclipse? I'm going to go back to unshare. That's where I'm at. And it's color coded for you for a reason. This eclipse will turn day to night, just as total solar eclipse of August 21st, 2017 did, but to a greater extent. A solar eclipse occurs when a new moon, and that's at the beginning of the month. So it was April 8th, the new moon. If you do the phases of the moon, the new moon is at the start of the month. About halfway through the month is a full moon. So you've got a waning crescent, waning half first quarter, waning gibbous. Then you have a waxing gibbous, waxing half moon, half quarter, and a waxing crescent. So the new moon is at the beginning of the month. A new moon is positioned precisely between Earth and the sun and casts its shadow on the Earth. A total solar eclipse happens when the moon appears the same size in the sky as the sun, or slightly larger, so fully covers the disk of the sun, giving observers a view of the sun's outer atmosphere, the corona. The apparent size of the moon in the sky and whether it can completely cover the sun's disk during an eclipse depends on the moon's distance from the Earth. So the moon has a slightly elliptical orbit around Earth. So at 2 points each month, it is farthest, apogee, and closest, perigee, to Earth, making the moon appear slightly smaller or slightly larger in our sky. On April 8th, 2024, the new moon looked relatively large and therefore covered 100% of the sun's disk as viewed from the narrow path of totality that stretched from Sonoma, Mexico through the US to Newfoundland, Canada. The magnitude of a solar eclipse is the fraction of the diameter of the sun covered by the moon, which on April 8th, 2024 was 1.0566. Okay. Where's the total solar eclipse? On April 8th, 2024, all of North America and Central America will experience a solar eclipse. You'll see it. Partial. For most of the region, the spectacle would be solely partial solar eclipse through a varying obscuration. Only in the path of totality which is 100 to 123 miles wide, will a totally eclipsed sun be visible. That path will stretch from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. It will first make land in Mazatlan in Sinaloa, Mexico, and cross Durango and Coahuila, entering the US at Texas. The path of totality then moves to Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland, Canada. All of those places just mentioned will experience totality. One exception, as long as there's no cloud coverage. Yeah. As the path travels northeast, the maximum duration will lessen. Why? In Texas, see, we're at the beginning of it. So we had a big duration. We had 3 minutes, 52 seconds. The moon's distance to the earth changes. So as it went closer to Canada, the totality time lessened. As the moon shadow gets larger, the point of longest totality, where viewers could get an eclipsed sun for 4 minutes, 28 seconds, will occur at Nazas near Durango, Mexico. After that point, that's the high point, the moon's shadow lengthens and narrows, reducing to a maximum totality of 2 minutes and 52 seconds as the path exits North America at Newfoundland. So I want to share the screen again. And a lot of this is on the test questions I will ask you. You can see the chart here. These are notable locations. So it starts in Mazatlan, right here, Sinaloa, Mexico. 11:07 a.m. was the approximate time, mountain time. The duration was 4 minutes, 20 seconds. You'll notice as you go through here, Dallas, Texas was about 4 minutes. And notice that as you go northeast, the time is lessening, right? With the lowest time here is 1 minute, 42 seconds in Montpelier, Vermont. The greatest time, whoever got the most time, was Kerrville, Texas, and Fredericksburg, Texas on this chart. I'm going to go to another chart here in a second. Why was this special? The next time we will have totality is in 2044. So 20 years from now in Texas. Or in the United States. Now, I'm not saying you can't see totality if you get on a plane, because you can. The longest totality on land for over a decade was Monday, April 8th. Eclipse chasers came from all over into that path of totality. Every hotel in the Dallas-Fort Worth area was booked. Restaurants, bars. It was huge. And this time was really special because the sun was close to solar maximum when it's most active during its 11-year solar cycle. During totality, you should have seen 2 planets. I saw them. Venus was bright and 15 degrees from the sun even before totality began. And dimmer Jupiter was 30 degrees from the sun and appeared during totality. As with all eclipses, it's important to be close to the center of the path of the moon shadow if you want to experience as long a spectacle as possible. In practical terms, that means avoiding the edges of the path where its length drastically reduces. Aiming for close to the center line is wise. Besides, a clear sky remains the most important thing. For those after geographic oddities, the 2017 and 2024 paths cross in southern Illinois, Missouri, and Kentucky with locations such as Maconda, Carbondale, and Cape Girardeau set to experience totality for the second time in 7 years. So aren't they lucky? Okay, notice the second time. You'll notice Mexico City, they're going to have 74% of the sun covered. So this is just showing you that not everyone got totality. You'll notice San Antonio, 99.9%, Toronto, Calgary, poor Calgary, 26%. How to safely view. I don't know if you knew this, and I saw it on the news, that the retina of the eye doesn't experience pain. So if you looked at the partial eclipse with the naked eye, you could damage your retina, which could eventually cause blindness. So any partial phase of a solar eclipse must be viewed through solar eclipse glasses. Totality was the one time you could see it with the naked eye. And totality, everybody was super cool. You know, being able to take off your glasses, feeling the temperature drop about 7 degrees. And I had 2 golden retrievers out with me. And my in-laws have acreage and these big trees, and we could hear the birds stop chirping. It was cool. Now, it wasn't as dark as I'm sure a lot of you anticipated. It was more like dusk, like when the sun is just setting. Cool, nevertheless, at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon to have that happen. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen one more time. And just tell you how I color coded this. Okay, so the pink part, if you look at your outline, this section, I think the blue ink makes sense to put the how in your conclusion. How to do it safely. Why is it so special? This would be a great place to put in the lead. So the great thing about a current event is you don't have to worry about creating your own lead or conclusion. Everything from the article can be kind of pieced together. The yellow information will go in the first body paragraph, what, and the where and when will go in the second body paragraph. So as you scroll down, you will notice, like I do with all current events, you identify the 5 W's. Can't go wrong if you do this. Who is this about? The new moon will cover 100% of the sun, a total solar eclipse through a narrow path through North and Central America. What's going to happen? A solar eclipse happens when a new moon phase is in position precisely between the Earth and the sun. The moon appears to be the same size as the sun and covers the face of the sun for a short time. This will then cast a shadow on the Earth, which will give observers a view of the corona, the sun's outer atmosphere. Where? Put a total there. Anyone in the path between North and Central America will be able to see a partial solar eclipse. However, Dallas, Texas, and Montreal, Canada, will be able to view a total solar eclipse. And this was on the chart. When? Monday, April 8th, 2024. This is a big deal because, just typo there. It will be the longest totality seen in over 10 years. This is due to the solar cycle because the sun will be its most active. 2 planets will be visible, Venus and Jupiter. The next total solar eclipse will not happen until August 23rd, 2044. To watch, and that's in the United States. To watch any solar eclipse, it's wise to purchase protective eclipse glasses, which have solar filters, as they will protect the human eyes. Any partial phase of the solar eclipse must be viewed through them to avoid harming the eye or blindness. And I would be harming the retina. There you go. The only time the solar eclipse could be viewed with the naked eye was when there was a total eclipse. Okay, so those 5 become your thesis. On Monday, April 8th, 2024, a cosmic solar event will take place in North and Central America where the Earth, moon, and sun will line up. The moon will appear to be the same size as the sun and move in front of it for a short time, offering a partial or total eclipse of the sun, which should be viewed through protective solar eclipse glasses. And I'm going to narrow that down even more. Okay, so this was a star. Oh, and FYI, the last time Dallas was in the path of totality, there we go, was in 1878. So pretty rare. Okay, when was the last solar eclipse? That would be B, 2017. True or false, during the solar eclipse, the moon will appear smaller than the sun. So when it overlaps, it creates a small ring of fire. That's false. If it was smaller than the sun, we wouldn't get a total eclipse, would we? How does a total solar eclipse occur? And this really is important right here, the new moon. When the new moon, that's because it's the beginning of the month, is positioned between, I'm going to get rid of that, Earth and the sun, casting a shadow on the Earth. Where can people view the solar eclipse? All of the above. True or false, only on the path of totality will people be able to take off their protective solar glasses. And that's false. Even if you're on the path of totality, you only get totality for 4 minutes, which means before and after you still have to keep them on. So what is the longest and shortest visibility duration? And this was on the chart. And the answer is A. So you were supposed to go back into the chart and find the longest, which was 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and the shortest, which was 1 minute and 42 seconds. So that answer, just wanted to show you where I got it, was A. Which other two planets will be visible during totality? That is Venus and Jupiter. What city has the lowest percentage of the sun covered? So you have to go back in the chart here. Let me show you. I'll make that chart easier to look at. Okay, so you'll see it's Calgary right here, 26%. So the answer here is A. True or false, the next total solar eclipse will be seen on August 23, 2044. And that's actually false. It will actually be elsewhere. The next total solar eclipse in the United States, in the Dallas area, will be on August 23rd, 2044. Okay, so as you can see, I was so nice. I literally color coded everything for you. So for example, the conclusion found in blue ink is going to be this part right here, how to safely view the partial and total solar eclipse. Kind of makes sense. The lead will be this pink here. Why? Why? Are you seeing a pattern? We're going to answer who, what, where, when, why, and how. We're just going to do it throughout the current event. Anything in yellow, the what is happening? Okay. That will be body 1. And all of the blue, where and when, will be body 2. So I'm going to give you a little tip here. And I'm going to highlight that body 1 part. Okay, so as you can see, I clicked it down here. As you are doing your summary here, I would have this below me. I would copy it below in my document. And the reason is twofold. Number one, I want to make sure I have summarized all of the facts, because that is your job. And number two, you want to make sure you're not plagiarizing, right? So that's why I would do that. Okay. There's an example. So notice your thesis here. This is the shortened version. On Monday, April 8th, 2024, a cosmic solar event will take place in North and Central America, where the Earth, Moon, and Sun will line up, causing the Moon to appear to be the same size as the Sun, moving in front of it for a short time, offering a partial or total eclipse of the Sun. The restated thesis: an astronomical event will be coming up on April 8th, 2024, where the Earth, Moon, Sun, and Sun perfectly line up, causing a mostly partial and in a few locations total eclipse, which will not happen again until 2044. Okay, so this is basically now. So example body paragraph. I will tell you, younger students are struggling a little bit more. Make sure you're summarizing the most important information. Yes, some of it repeats. The first body paragraph's been pretty good. It's been the second body paragraph. So I would go in and copy all the blue. Does that make sense? To make sure that you found all the information. If you want to, since this is post, you can certainly add, the temperature drops. It was incredibly special. And I kind of was, I was meh about it. And my expectations were surpassed. I went in with low expectations and it was pretty staggering. I was pretty emotional that our solar system is incredibly, I don't even know the word to say. The way it works, the way it functions is mysterious, magical. So to witness that was pretty cool. All right, this concludes lesson 1, and submit as soon as possible. I know Thursday, April 11th. I know today was STARS testing, so I hope everything went well. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.